Go. There we are. Hi, everyone. Happy Monday. Well, welcome to In the Spotlight with Tyra. And I have a new team member. Julia is joining us, and we're going to be doing this together. So I'm really excited about that. I'm going to introduce her in a moment. But as usual, I want to remind you that you're more than welcome to follow my Facebook page, which is TN Grow Wealth Together, where you would be seeing the live version of this. And then also the same name with my YouTube is TN Grow Wealth Together. I would love if you join me there and subscribe. So a few things, if you're going to be watching this over here, now you can't see me because Julia's on that side. If you've never commented on StreamYard, you need to give them permission to comment. And of course, pardon me, while we're doing this, I won't be interacting with you as far as back and forth, but I will connect with you after for sure, because we love to hear from you. We love to hear what's going on, if you're enjoying our show and what we have to offer you. So one more thing, we are booking again some of our interviews. I've done that before and I found it works so well. So we started to do that again. So February 4th at 9 a.m. PST, or if you're in the UK, it's 6 p.m., we get to chat with Sharon Parkinson. And I am super excited to talk to this gal. She's an entrepreneur, a coach, an educator, a businesswoman. She's got a whole bunch of, irons in the fire. So it's going to be an exciting time chatting with her. I sure hope you join us on that one. And go ahead, as always. You're welcome to share our videos. We are really grateful for that. And yeah, invite your friends along. We have a lot coming up. So without further ado, everyone, I want to introduce my partner, Julia, who is going to be a part of In the Spotlight. Hi, Julia.
Hi, Tyra. My name's Julia Zur. I'm also known as AJ Lancaster on Facebook, long story, as well as I have a YouTube page. It's actually brand spanking new, so you can find me there at Julia Zur, Zerr. Tyra, I just want to take 2 seconds and thank you so much for this honor. I am just tickled pink. I have a lot of fear in this, so I'm gonna do the best I can. So Tyra was explaining that we will have a guest on Thursday. I'm going to introduce our guest on Friday. That is Chad Trader. Now he is coming on board for the interview at 3 p.m. PST, which is the West Coast, and it would be 6 p.m. the East Coast. So a little bit about Chad is he is a YouTube guru. He has, and it's by the same name, I believe, and Facebook as well, Chad Trader. So we're really looking forward to interviewing these two delightful people. I'm totally stoked. So yeah. So anyways,
well,
I just wanted to take a second. Sorry, Tyra. Take a second. Now I'm going to be working with Tyra as her co-host. And I wanted to give you a little bit of a surprise today. So we are actually going to be interviewing, or I like to say more of a casual talk or a casual get together with Tyra. So today,
different for me.
None other than Tyra. I will be asking her a few questions. And again, also I wanted to introduce that you can watch the replay today on my YouTube page as well. However, it will be the replay. So I'll post it on my Facebook page, AJ Internet Solutions, probably a little bit later today. So without further ado, I'm going to introduce Tyra.
That's marvelous.
So,
I'm so excited, like for you to first be coming out on your first day and you're just jumping right in and getting your feet wet. So go ahead, Julia, take it away.
so Tyra, everybody wants to know, everyone knows that you interview several people and you're good at what you do, but nobody really knows you. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
I can indeed. So I am a farm girl, bred and born in Saskatchewan, Canada. I come from family that came from the Ukraine. They started farming in the Saskatchewan, the province of Saskatchewan. And yeah, third generation farming family, married. My husband's family's all farming. And my husband didn't want to farm. So it ended up our oldest daughter and her husband are farming, which is kind of neat. I never imagined my daughter to be a farmer. So we have 2 kids, grown kids. We have 5 grandchildren. And let's see, back 5 years ago, we just really grew tired of the cold weather in Saskatchewan. Like Saskatchewan is like -40. It's terrible. We used to get away a lot during the winter just to get a break. And so we decided to move to Vancouver Island, BC, in Canada still, and just start fresh again. My husband and I had a digital billboard company. Well, he did. I helped him in the office. I did some programming. I'm, though, basically a hairdresser by trade. I did that for years as my kids were growing up. Something else that is such a great passion to me. For 5 years, my husband and I ran a drop-in center for kids kind of the ages 5 to maybe 13, 14. And then we had another couple in the same building. We were downstairs, they were upstairs. They ran more a youth, with the older into their young adult. Mm-hmm. So we did that for 5 years. And basically it was kids struggling at home, kids that spent a lot of time on the street, parents with drug addictions and all sorts of things like that. So it was probably the most exciting part of my life. I love the underdog. I love, my friends used to laugh at me. I said, give me a house full of teenagers any day. And they were like, are you crazy? But, that is where my heart is, because it seems to me that if we can connect with teenagers, before they start getting into young adult and really help them set their journey, I think it really makes a difference in their lives. And so that's what we did for 5 years. I set up, we had a whole basement in the church, old church we had bought. We set up little one-on-one basketball courts for them to play. We set up booths and we had snacks when they came. We had all kinds of donations with board games. And it was really exciting, terribly stressful, because these kids are coming from some pretty rough situations. But I tell you, it really let one of my deep passions flow in helping people that are struggling. That's a big deal for me. My husband pastored in our church. He was an associate pastor for over 4 years, and then I ran that drop-in center program under the church kind of setting. So it was an exciting time. It was really an exciting time. But then we made the shift and we moved out here to the island, and we're working at trying to slow down.
Well, that's wonderful. Well, my heart goes out to you, both Jeff and yourself, because that's a hard thing. I raised a teenager, and oh my gosh, I don't know if I can relate there. But as far as I'm concerned, I think, bless your hearts. So I do have a question for you. I was wondering what your vision is in life. Now, we both know that OnPassive is a passion of yours, and as it is mine. But what is your vision in the future with OnPassive, and why is it so important to you?
Okay. Well, it kind of leads into what I was saying about having a heart for the underdog, for those struggling. I've always been drawn to that. Something Jeff and I had done that had never been done in our area is we became foster parents for Aboriginal kids. I took in a young lady that was desperately struggling. And, so things like that have always been on our plate, if you will. So coming into OnPassive and the kind of vision that Ash Mufara, our CEO, has is very similar in those ways of wanting to help humanity, those that are struggling, those that are trying but not quite making it. And so that was a big draw for me. When I heard him talking about that, that really drew me. Yes, like any business, you want to make money, but the bottom line, if you start securing your own life, and if you're in debt or whatever your situation is, or helping your family, and you're making residual income, well, all of a sudden there's all this extra, and what are you going to do with it? I've always said to my husband, I would love something I've done for probably over 10 years. I don't know if anyone's ever heard of Kiva. They're a microfinancing company. There's another one, not a company, a group. There's another one called Esperanzo, and they also do the same. They do microfinancing. So what they basically do, people in underdeveloped countries that are trying to get on their feet with doing stuff, they give them a loan. And so those loans come from people like ourselves that invest the money. So the people take a loan, and then little by little they pay it back, and that money gets put back into your account and you can reloan it. And I love that because my husband and I, as I said, have worked with struggling kids, struggling families. And there's one thing, if you call me up and say, hey, I'm struggling, I need $50, and I know that where you're going to spend it is going to be on the street. Maybe you're an addict, maybe you're whatever. So my answer is always, no, I won't give you the money, but tell me what you need. So if they need maybe some food, maybe a ride to a doctor's appointment, things like that. So that's why I got into this microfinancing end of it with these groups, because it's not just giving someone, as it's been said, a fish. It's teaching them how to fish. So all of a sudden, these people are starting, and there's been women that got a group together of them and started little businesses, maybe a grocery store, maybe, sewing things. Like the sky is the limit with this. So for me, with OnPassive, that is a direction I really want to get involved more with. And there's a lot more. Like there's so much out there that we can do if all of a sudden money is not an object. And that is really my goal of bringing forth those passions my husband and I both have.
That's very admirable. And, I haven't ever heard of a company like this, like OnPassive, where we have a visionary like Ash, who actually gives us that chance. Of course, we all have to deal with our own means, debts, and everything, like you said. But people have their own vision in life, and, and whatever it may be. And yeah, good for you. But it's so nice to hear your vision and what you're going to be doing with it. And the fact that OnPassive will give you that vehicle to get there. That to me is what sold me as well. So kudos to you, kudos to Ash, and to all the family of OnPassive on that one.
Oh, totally.
Yeah. So I have a question for you. What brings you joy in what you do at OnPassive right now?
Can you word that again, please? I didn't quite hear you.
No problem. So what gives you joy in OnPassive in what you do right now? What is it, say, for somebody that you've never met, perhaps somebody that you've met, or someone who has become a founder? What gives you the joy in all of this?
That's an excellent question. I have a bestie back in Saskatchewan. Her and I talk quite often. And she mentioned something to me that hadn't dawned on me. And we were talking about OnPassive, and I have been building a team. I have a team of people, you being one of them. And so I was sharing some information with her, and she started laughing. And she said, "Do you realize you're doing it?" And I said, "Doing what?" And she said, "You are doing your passion, the things that you love. And it's about helping people. It's about encouraging people." And, it didn't dawn on me with my team even. That brings me such great joy in that I can help my team in whatever ways they might need help with if they're building their business. And it's not just my team, it's the whole OnPassive community. There's so many people that reach out to me and I can help them. And then I reach out to them and they can help me. So I find that really does bring out part of who I am as an encourager, a helper. And yeah, it does. It truly brings me great joy. I've been in other companies where it's kind of every dog for himself. They say they'll help you, but it doesn't really turn out that way. And this is so different because I think it makes a difference who your boss is, if you will, or as we have a CEO, with having a heart for humanity and having a caring heart, that all of a sudden you see or hear him talking about these kinds of things, and it really flows down to other people. I've often heard people say you attract a lot of what you are. And I see that in our community, that OnPassive has been drawing so many people with a heart for humanity. And I mean, that totally gets my passions flowing, because that's where I want to be. That's what I want to do.
And I mean, I think everybody, when it comes to what their passion is and the fact that they might be able to one day be able to afford to give rather than receive, and whatever your charity or group may be, it doesn't matter. I was just wondering what your advice would be to somebody who's watching this today. Why OnPassive? Why OnPassive? That's what I get a lot of, is why OnPassive, and why should I join OnPassive? Do you have any advice to somebody who is kind of on the fence, perhaps, or had just started, brand new, or perhaps has never heard of OnPassive? Could you just take a moment, just maybe explain it to the people?
Sure. Well, one thing I would want to say is, if you're on the fence, I'm going to come in and I'm going to push you. fall over, get off the fence. I'm being goofy, and but really, when I first heard about this back in June, because I have been involved in online stuff and kind of some of the tech end of it, I understood when I heard it. I understood that, sign me up, get me in here, because the money and the future is online. And I mean, look what's happened to the globe in the last year, and people frantically working at trying to get their businesses online, or schools, universities frantically trying to get their stuff online so students could continue to study. So when I heard it, I barely knew a thing about it. but I knew, okay, if this is tech, software, AI involved, sign me up, you know?
Right.
And since June, I've talked to a lot of people that are different. Like my husband's more, okay, explain this to me again. What do you mean? What do you mean? And he digs. He's a real thinker. He processes, he's regurgitating, he's thinking it through. And I appreciate those people too, because they really dig in and they really look at the business and, they really try to understand it. Either way, I mean, OnPassive is so transparent that get in there. If you're a thinker or even an overthinker, get in there and examine it. There is nothing our CEO hides. He is as transparent as can be, because his whole heart with starting this company first is helping those, say, 97% or 98% of people that have done MLMs, done affiliate marketing, e-commerce, all of these different things that people are doing online these days to make an earning. He set this company up so people like that have struggled can make it. He has set it up in such a way that you are going to get advertising, marketing. They're going to give you a website. They're going to give you driving traffic to that website. They'll even close the deal for you. The whole shebang from start to finish. And I've heard that from different affiliates or different, and I've not seen it. I've been in different ones, and I heard it, and then I got in, and it was a heck of a pile of work.
Yeah.
Right? But this is truly the whole shebang. And, you come in for 97 to become a founder, then you're going to be paying a subscription monthly, one time out of pocket. After that, your profits will begin to flow and you'll be able to pay your subscription out of pocket. It's going to be under $250 or under. And I mean, it's really, when you look at that, it's really a no-brainer, because you can choose if you want to be passive. My husband joined OnPassive back when I did, and I don't even know if he's ever even logged into his account. He is being passive. Okay, so you can be passive, and you're still going to, because once the company launches, it's going to be driving traffic. It's going to be doing all those things I said it's going to be doing. So all of a sudden, it's going to start building a team for you, and you're going to begin to make residual income. If you're passive, yeah, it's probably going to take a good, say, year, and you may be making 6,000, maybe 7,000, depending on how. I mean, we got 4.3 billion users online. So
Yes.
Our market is huge. But
Yes.
Also, if you're active and you're building a team, you're just making that happen quicker for yourself. If you don't have a business, you can use OnPassive as your business. If you have a business, you can get it approved and link it, and they'll do the work for you. Like it's, you said about fence sitters or people that haven't heard about it. And I think more and more people are going to hear that name and recognize it, because we're at almost 500,000 people now as founders. Okay.
Exactly.
So consider this. Most companies will start with a few founders. They have 0 customers. Now they got to put in big dollars to get advertising. They need to get their customers to build that customer base. Okay. Now consider OnPassive, we're almost at 500,000 founders. Now, once we go launch publicly, those founders are going to become customers, because as founders, we get to use all the products. So how many companies do you know that right off the hop, when they start, have, say, if we end there, 500,000 customers?
Not many, or not any.
Look it up, people. It's unheard of. Like this business plan is so beyond good. I've heard people call it magic, but it's not. It's brilliance. It's brilliance because Ash was in the online marketing, the whole technology thing for like 25 years. And he saw and he learned and he saw what worked and what didn't work. And so when he put this business plan together, I mean, it is sheer brilliance because he's bringing together all the things that will make a person succeed. So $97 to become a founder, seriously, go out for dinner. See how much you spend with maybe you and a significant other. I mean, come on, really, I can barely buy an outfit for $97 anymore, you know? And then anything under $250 for a monthly subscription that you just pay one time for, and the rest out of pocket. I mean, I could go on for hours because it is so brilliant. Brilliant.
And I think a lot of it is because people see that it's so brilliant, and there's always going to be somebody that makes an excuse not to believe in it. And I mean, it's just so mind blowing. But if you don't do your research and don't look into it, then you have no idea and you have no right to say anything about it. So I truly believe that OnPassive is situated at a great time. Almost post-COVID, hopefully. A lot of people want to work from home. And the fact that you don't have to recruit, you don't have to sell, you don't have to, I mean, you're not paying thousands and thousands of dollars out of your pocket like I have in past businesses. So again, I agree with you 100%. This, at least take a look at it. And whoever invited you to watch this today, please give them a chance to actually explain it to you, because you will understand it when you pay attention.
Yes.
Right?
Well, and the other thing too that I hadn't mentioned, you know, if you're curious and you think, yeah, maybe, you pay the 97, you get approved as a founder, and you are able to come in to your own personal back office. Well, then you can look around. You can look at everything. All our business webinars are there, our information, our leadership council, who they are, where they are, their emails, everything. And then you say, you know what? No, not for me. You can get a refund. Lifetime. Listen, lifetime guaranteed. You can do it the next day. You can do it in a week, in a month, in a year. You can get a refund. So really, there's nothing to lose, because once you come in and you have a look and you can investigate deeper, because it's a company, it's a software tech AI company. We all sign an NDA and it's legal and binding. So there are things we can't say, but once you get in, you can have a look around. So that's kind of the full Monty right there, Julia.
Well, Tyra, I just wanted to say thank you so much for taking the time to with me today and on my debut. I really appreciate it, and thank you so much for all the information that you've given. So again, please feel free after this. I will have the replay on my YouTube page, Julia Zur, as well as Tyra will, and she'll explain that. And thank you so much.
Oh, that was marvelous. Wow. You guys that are watching, you should give Julia a clap. You did fantastic for your first interview. Thank you so much.
Now I got to go throw up.
And yeah, you know, let's look at this, folks. And as Julia said, she'll have the replay up. Is it AJ Solution? Sorry.
Okay, so on Facebook, it's AJ Internet Solutions.
Right.
And on Facebook, YouTube, it's Julia Zur, Zerr. I'll have it within a couple hours.
Perfect. Yeah, so that's it for us, folks. Thank you so much for joining us. Remember, we have something going on Thursday, 9 a.m. PST, and then we have something Friday at 3 p.m. PST. So we would love you to join us. Thanks for the comments. We are going to interact with you all shortly. Hope you enjoyed yourself and have an awesome Monday.
Take care.